What's up, Fragrant family? This is Tyler with Simply Fragrances, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and impressions on the new Polo Green Cologne Intense. So this is the newest flanker to the Polo line. Really excited to bring this to you guys today. I don't have a full bottle. I could have went and got a full bottle, but you know what? I'm trying to kind of break out of that cycle of blind buying stuff, full bottle, and if I don't like it, then either keeping it in my collection and never wearing it, or trying to pass it off. So you know what, I've kind of challenged myself, me and John Morrell, he's a good buddy of mine, another YouTube review. If you haven't checked his channel out, definitely go check it out. I'll leave it in the link below. But we were kind of talking, and we're the world's worst about blind buying fragrances, and then sometimes it just doesn't work for us. So I'm gonna try and challenge myself for the next month. Okay, I'm gonna do it for a whole month of sampling before I purchase. Now that's gonna be really hard for me to do, but I think I can do it. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Bear with me for at least the next couple days. I did get a new phone, so all this is still done off my phone. I don't have a computer, but I got the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, so it's a much bigger phone, much bigger screen, and so you can see a lot more of the room. With my older phone, I was able to kind of open up the bathroom door here and shut it off, but with this newer phone I can't do it. So bear with that. I'm going to try and get things kind of figured out, and then also bear with the sound. It's a different sound quality, so videos might sound a little bit different for the next couple of days, might look a little bit different, maybe not as bright or maybe darker. I don't know. So but bear with me on that, and we're going to go ahead and get into this, guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead, hit the red subscribe button. It really does help me out. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and if you don't, give it a thumbs down. I want honest thoughts and I want honest feedback. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. So like I said, I don't have a full bottle, but I do have a full bottle for your viewing pleasure. And then I'm going to look at the bottle here because I really enjoy it. So here's the full bottle. Here you can see it up there for you guys, but I really do love this bottle. So it's got that classic Polo green body style. It's got the classic green. This one, it seems to be a bit darker to me than the original one. The original one seems to be more of like an emerald type of green. This one's just a smidge darker, almost like a foresty type green. And then it's got that gray kind of graphite looking type of cap on there, and I really do enjoy that. And it's got the silvery, almost graphite looking Polo logo. So really great bottle, and the box looks the same, so really great. So this is a little sample that I got, and then instead of doing it on the tester strip, I'm going to start doing it on skin, because there's so many times when I review something off paper, I might get my first impression or whatnot, and it changes on skin, and it's way better on skin. So let's go ahead and get into that. So there we go. As you can see, hasn't been sprayed yet. Go ahead, get it on hand, and then I'm gonna put the notes right up here for you guys, and then I'm also gonna look at the notes. So let's go ahead and get into that. So as you can see, guys, the top notes are going to be basil oil, spearmint oil, grapefruit oil, so lots of oils in there. Middle notes are going to be celery sage oil, violet leaf absolute, thyme oil. Base notes patchouli, polite, ambroxan, and vetiver oil. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Oh, this is really nice. Really nice. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of that spearmint and grapefruit. Not gonna lie, very fruity in the opening. Like, really wasn't expecting that, especially if you smelled the original Polo. Was not expecting that at all. Oh man, really good. So very fruity in the opening, but even now it's starting to kind of dry down to that kind of more classic Polo green-esque type of scent here. And I'm picking up a lot on that basil and thyme, which is really interesting. Basil is one of those notes that I don't really smell too much. So like Dolce & Gabbana, the one EDP, it's got some basil in there, and I sort of kind of pick up on it, but it's not the main note. But on this one, I'm really picking up quite a bit of that basil, and that thyme and patchouli is really coming forth. And then also I'm still getting that grapefruit in there. Now it does say, let's see here, where'd that go? It does say that there was some spearmint in here. And I was getting that at first, but as it's kind of starting to dry down, not so much. Like it was there, and then if you go back and sniff, you can kind of get it for that instant, but it's really not like a prominent note. It's like just that quick little instant of spearmint, and then it kind of goes away. But this is really fresh and invigorating, not gonna lie. So I don't mean any kind of disrespect to this by any means, but this smells like a very, very clean, fresh shower gel bar soap type of vibe to it. If you've ever smelled, Irish Spring, like the actual soap bar, it kind of has that vibe to it, but it's got this grapefruit in here that just keeps popping up, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this stuff. And you know what's crazy? I've never been able to really pick up violet too easily, but I'm kind of getting some violet in here. So I keep going back to the notes so I don't have to leave the notes up there on the screen the whole time. Oh man. This is really, really interesting, guys. So I was not expecting this. I didn't really know what to expect. You know, I watched a couple different reviews on it, and, you know, people have said that it's a little bit fresher, but, you know, it's kind of got that same polo green type of vibe to it. And I can kind of see that, but at least off my skin, it's kind of going a different direction than what I had anticipated. So yeah, so there's lots of basil, lots of patchouli coming forth, grapefruit, spearmint in the opening. I'm getting a lot of thyme in here. So it's got this really kind of gentleman, regal type of vibe to it. You know, kind of like what you would think from the Polo Green line, but very fresh and fruity in the initial spray. That grapefruit really came forth, and it's now kind of starting to go down. And then, guys, that's what it is. Okay, so I've been thinking, like, there's something in the background that, like, even though I just sprayed it, I can tell that the dry down is going to be very similar to something, and I think I figured it out. So let me see here. I can almost guarantee, okay, I'm going to do a follow-up review to this. It's what, 10:15 now. I'm going to come back probably in an hour or so. You guys, it's going to be instantaneous, and you're going to see this. I'm gonna make a prediction. This is gonna go in a direction that it's going to smell similar to Ralph Lauren Safari. There's not leather. Let me see here. I didn't see any leather. There's no leather. There isn't Broxton, but I wouldn't say that. Yeah, so really not too much in here. Yeah, that's interesting. So I'm gonna come back here in about an hour or so, give it kind of a good chance to cool down. But I think we're gonna be looking at something along the lines of maybe Ralph Lauren Safari in the extreme dry down. And what's really, really crazy is as this is already starting to kind of cool down, I'm getting that Ambroxan in there. And I'm not a super huge Ambroxan fan. I'm not the biggest blue fragrance type of guy. But this is really, really nice. Really, really nice. Okay. So that's kind of my first impression of this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna be back here very shortly, guys. About an hour or so, probably around 11:15, 11:20. I'll come back and I'll do my follow-up review on this. All right, so for you guys, it's gonna be just instant. So I keep going back. So instantaneously, give me a second, give me about an hour, and I'll be back. All right, guys. So it has been about an hour or so since I first initially sprayed this. This has had a good chance to kind of cool down, and really excited to kind of give you my final thoughts on this. So as it's dried down, so that Ambroxan has really, really made its presence known, and that's honestly, not unfortunately, but that's a lot of what you're gonna get in the dry down. Now, off of my skin, what I'm also getting, pull up the notes again here, I'm getting the Ambroxan and I'm getting the vetiver oil. Vetiver is also one of those fragrance notes that I'm really trying to work on and trying to enjoy, and you know, I'm starting to get around to it. And then also you get a really kind of a good patchouli note that comes through here as well. So, you know, overall, this is a very kind of dry, earthy type of fragrance. Now, what's funny here is I said earlier that it would dry down, and I thought it was going to kind of smell a little bit like Ralph Lauren Safari. So check this out. So this is the notes for the Polo Green. It's got basil oil, spearmint, grapefruit, celery sage, violet, thyme, patchouli, ambroxan, and vetiver. Now listen to those notes. Now listen to the Safari notes. So you got eucalyptus, bergamot. So don't really have those. I mean, you could almost say, well, bergamot's more of a citrusy note, and so is the grapefruit. So maybe there, but here's where it kind of starts to be very similar. You got the cedar leaf, basil, thyme, lavender, geranium, and then in the base you have patchouli, leather, which is not in there, but you also have vetiver. So I mean, there's also stuff like oak moss and sandalwood. So you know, there are similarities between these two. Now, are they super 100% close? Not so much, but in the air, in the air, these do smell somewhat similar, at least off my skin. So, what I did is I sprayed Safari on this hand, and I sprayed the Polo Green on this hand. So in the air, whenever they were wafting around, the Safari was a little bit lighter, a little bit more leathery, if that makes sense. And on this one, this is more ambroxan heavy with that vetiver, but they did smell similar. So the Ralph Lauren Polo Green Cologne Intense, man, that's why they make them so long nowadays. Like that's quite the mouthful. But this one is a little bit more youthful and a little bit more for the modern day gentleman, if you will. I think that what they were trying to go for was a newer generation to kind of, you know, fall in love with the Polo collection, but they still want to kind of stick to their roots. So that brings me into kind of the final review over it. The performance is absolutely great. Like this stuff, it fills your room. It's going to be long lasting. I can already tell off my skin. I mean, it's been about an hour or so, and it's still pushing out very, very well. So I would be very surprised if I didn't get, you know, at least 2.5 to 3 hours of good, decent projection off of this, especially if you spray it around your neck area where a lot of those blood points and pulse points are at. So, but really good projection. The longevity, I would be very surprised if you didn't get around 8 to 9 hours, you know, out of use off of this. And then places to wear this, man, I would really kind of stick to more of like formal, I want to say just formal, but it'd be a great office fragrance. It'd be a great formal dinner type of fragrance for like business dinners, Thanksgiving, Christmases, Easter, stuff like that. You know, more not really super special occasions, but more of a reason to put maybe a polo, no pun intended, but more of a polo type shirt on, button-up shirt. There's not really anything super casual about it. So that's kind of where I'd leave it that. And then times to wear this, I would rather stick to this more of like the spring, fall, and winter. I think it's just too thick for the summer. You know, I was kind of wondering if with the ambroxan and the grapefruit in there, if it maybe could be a summertime fragrance, but I think honestly it's just going to be too thick and too overbearing for the high heat summer weather. At least what we get in here in Springfield, Missouri, it just gets so humid and so hot. Like, I just think it'd be too much. Unless you're in kind of a climate controlled environment, like, you know, like the office or, you know, places like that. So, other than that, guys, I honestly really enjoy this a lot more than I thought I was going to. I didn't know really what to expect, but this is kind of a modern twist on an old classic. So I think they did really well, and it's different enough to where I don't think that you could say, oh, they're just doing the same thing, or this is, you know, very just dull. Like, it's got enough of a twist to it where I think that if you love the older one, you should enjoy this one. Or if you don't really like the old one, but there's something about it that intrigues you, I would go ahead and I would sample this one. I'm gonna get a full bottle, 100%. Like, this stuff is awesome. And then while I'm doing it, I gotta go ahead and pick me up a bottle of the original because I don't have that one. So I know it's kind of a cardinal sin not having the original Polo Green in your collection. So there's kind of a couple that I still gotta get. Aqua di Gio being one of them. Yeah, I know that's weird that I don't have that. But anyways, that is yeah, that's kind of my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know why I got super stuffy all of a sudden, but for whatever reason my nose clogged up, but luckily I got to smell it before that, so that's awesome. So anyways, yeah, that's my final thoughts and review over this. Hope you enjoyed the video. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead, hit the red subscribe button. It really does help me out. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Comment down below if you've smelled it, if you haven't and you want to smell it, what your thoughts are, if you're excited about it, or if you think it's just another, designer trying to put out another. It seems like every couple years all the designers put out like a parfum or a eau intense or something like that, but I really do enjoy this one. So anyways, for those of you who have smelled it, I do want to ask you guys, comment down below if you have. I know that Russell Mack over at Solomon's Vineyard, I know you smelled this. I've seen your review on it. Do you think it resembles Ralph Lauren Safari at all in the dry down? For those of you who have smelled it and know what I'm talking about, do you get any type of kind of Ralph Lauren Safari vibe to it? If so, comment down below. If not, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe my nose is just weird. But anyways, that's going to do it for this, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. And remember, if you love it, wear it.